Well, this is a most generous offering of rural area rivalry in Jamaica schoolboy football, an amalgamation of greed and wills, passions and skills, where the calling of conflict takes center stage. And so Santa Cruz embraces once again St. Elizabeth Technical. There they are against Munro College. It was once dubbed the best of the best in the Battle of St. Bess, but it is no less irreproachable on this day of Derby days, which has seen brighter days and hotter days. The sauna that we usually expect in Santa Cruz should be limited to the action on the field of play. Of course, we are in the breadbasket parish, so every crumb of confidence will matter, because regardless of their standing in the battle for the Da Costa Cup, when it comes to this raging war, there seems to be a prize far greater. Wherever you're watching from all over the world, thank you so much for joining our coverage here on the Home of Champions. My name is Donald Oliver. With me is Christopher Taylor to give his initial thoughts on this fixture.
I expect a very tight game, one that probably will end up a lot tighter, a lot hard fought than the overall final statistics will show. An encounter that has seen Stets dominate Munro over the last 7 seasons, 8 wins in their last 15 encounters. However, more times than not, it's been by the odd goal. And so I expect this encounter today to be a very close one, even though a lot of disparity in terms of the points in the table.
Glenton Barham from Kirk Distributors is a part of the greeting party, along with Keith Wellington, who is the principal of St. Elizabeth Technical High School, but more importantly, and I suppose in his capacity today, as the president of ISA. Just met with the players of Munro College. Now he's going to be greeting the players I suppose he's more familiar with from Stets. And of course, privately, he'll be hoping that they get the better of Munro College, as they have been doing for the last 6 years. For the most part, at any rate. Munro, in fact, they haven't beaten Stets. Tomorrow would make it 7 years since their last victory over St. Elizabeth Technical. And we now pause for the playing of the national anthem.
Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders, great defenders, grant true wisdom from above. Justice fruits be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all. Stir response to duty's call. Strengthen us the weak to change. Give us visions lest we perish. Knowledge sent us, Heavenly Father, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love.
Both teams are now going to observe a moment of silence. Yes, Phil. As in on here or what? Well, a teacher of St. Elizabeth Technical had passed away recently, and the original plan was to observe a minute of silence. Tanya Covington Allen passed away earlier this week, and now the teams will observe that moment of silence around the center circle. A Spanish teacher here at St. Elizabeth Technical. May her soul rest in peace as the game, the sport continues. Just to tell you that Nerissa Golson will be in charge of today's fixture. She'll be assisted by Melvin Reed and Keone Denton.
Nerissa Golson, just 24 years of age, hails from Linstead, one of the upcoming female referees. Of course, she can't get onto the FIFA panel until the age of 25, which will happen very soon for her. And the tenure between 25 and 45, actually at 45 you have to retire from the panel or come off of the panel.
Let's take a look at the St. Elizabeth Technical starting lineup. Joanne Salmon in goal. They'll play with 5 at the back. Antonio Biggs will be the sweeper. Around him will be Errol Williams, Kevon Garwood, Adam Griffiths and Denari Watson. 3 in the middle of the park, Delroy Blake, Raheem Brown and Giovanni Coleman. 2 up front, Shamar Wallace and Christoph Murray. Of course, they're coached by Omar Wedderburn.
And they'll be playing a 5-3-2 formation. Christoph Murray, look out for him. 6 goals to his name, 2 assists so far in the season. The number 7 for St. Elizabeth Technical. And he'll be playing in the centre forward role, dangerous man up front.
As far as Munro College is concerned, they'll be playing with 4 at the back. Leighton Williams in goal, Terrain Young, Yushan Malcolm, Jamal Backus, Tyreek Segri are your defenders. Deshaun Roach, Damian Jones, Zion Hendricks and Lloyd Ryan will be in the middle of the park. 2 up front, Amal Nugent Hudson and Jaheim McIntosh. Of course, they are coached by Patrick Jackie Walters, Chris.
Jaheim, their top goal scorer with 3 goals. He'll go in the number 12 shirt. But of course, our player to watch, Damian Jones, who hasn't scored so far this season. Certainly a stalwart in the middle of the park for Munro. He'll be wearing the number 21, closest to you at the moment.
Yep, they need to get the goals going, Munro College. St. Elizabeth Technical, they have had no such issue this season, as is the case with every time they are in the preliminary round as we get on the way here in Santa Cruz. Munro with the possession. Both teams wearing colors pretty familiar, but predominantly blue today, Munro College. Of course, St. Elizabeth Technical in apparel will make it very difficult for commentators to make out their numbers at the back specifically.
Very strange that their numbers would be yellow as well. And a shocking yellow at that.
The science behind the decisions. There's Omar Wedderburn, head coach of St. Elizabeth Technical. Has won several trophies with them, Chris. And he's still there despite the fact that they haven't had one of the big titles in, what, about 4 years now?
Yep. Not in his regular kneeling position, which we've seen him keep for an entire game at times.
Yeah, he doesn't kneel when he doesn't kneel when it's wet. There's Jackie Walters, but second year at Munro. Didn't have the best of time last year because a number of his players went elsewhere. And one of them actually won the Manning Cup with Kingston College. So there you go. Munro College losing critical players last season. Had to build from scratch. And I suppose that they are in a second year of the typical 3-year program that's set out for a number of these schools with those types of ambitions.
Scored only 12 goals in 40 and conceded 14 in the first round in 2018. Finishing 5th in the group with only 8 points, 5 losses. And it was really a miserable season.
Stets on the attack. He's cut inside. He goes down a little bit too easily in my book, and so too in the book of referee Golson. She immediately turned away and had no interest in feeling sorry for the Stets protagonist.
Munro only had 1 win last year. They have already amassed 4, so it's a much improved season, this one. And no surprise, Patrick Jackie Walters, one of the best coaches that schoolboy football has seen. Here's the opportunity for St. Elizabeth Technical on the call. Yeah, he was looking to go down from the start. There was a left hand somewhat in the neck region. As I said, it looks soft. Maybe his acting skills weren't good enough.
Maybe. It's drizzling at the moment. It's been raining all day here in St. Elizabeth. And it's coming down even harder as we speak.
Nothing unusual. In fact, a lot of the times that we do games here there's been quite a bit of rain. What's unusual about this one is there's not much breeze to go with it just yet.
As we take a look at what happened here. An improper connection. Free kick for Munro College. Sent long inside the box. Not cleared properly. Still a chance for Munro. Sets trying to nut it out of the area. Still not clear. It's a chance. It's blocked. Here's another effort. Wide of the mark. Munro knocking. Munro knocking. The chance going to Lloyd Bryan, looking to get his first this season. But Bryan couldn't keep his shot on the mark.
Good effort for Munro, the away team, attacking through the central region. Good towering header that was initially. And, well, that was a good block by the St. Elizabeth defense.
Yeah, and then a little after that, the shot from Bryan.
Just wide of the upright.
Just wide of the upright.
Good start for Munro. Haven't
Well,
been in as good a scoring form as St. Elizabeth Technical. Just 9 so far on the season.
Ostet trying to burst free. That looks to be Murray.
They currently sit third in Zone E, Munro. They have 15 points. They've played 8 games, 4 wins, 3 draws and 1 loss. 9 goals for and 4 against. So it's been a bit of a mixed bag for them, but it's definitely a better season thus far, as we see their bench as well, than last year. And you'd like to think under the tutelage of Jackie Walters that Munro would only improve based on his quality. So I'm excited to see what will happen with Munro this year and going forward. Multiple winning coach Jackie Walters with Glenmuir, with Clarendon College as well.
Well, I think the rain is going to be here all afternoon. There's Errol Williams, one of the centre backs for St. Elizabeth Technical. Again, they're going forward. Munro College, the ball played inside the area. Damian Jones sending that one in. He's had 2 assists to his name so far and was looking to provide another one. I suppose the strikers will be encouraged to take as many shots as they can, especially with the surface a little bit more slippery than usual.
A little bit surprised that Leighton Williams didn't decide to collect that in his area, went for the kick instead. Was comfortable. Leaves his team in the defensive.
There's a delivery inside. So it's trying to make useful work on the flank, but the deliveries inside the area have left a lot to be desired so far. So the resulting effort from this one, wide of the mark. Lloyd Bryan would be a little bit disappointed as Joanne Salmon went across to his right and knew that he was going wide. Fans taking shelter. There is supposed to be a party stand, but unless the idea was a pool party, I'm thinking that's probably rained out. I think Shawana may be over there.
What? Let's hope they're attired properly.
Depends on what you call properly. Munro, there's a challenge coming in on Zion Hendricks. They have looked dangerous coming forward, Munro. Remember that they actually took the lead the first time these two teams met this season and conceded late on in that encounter in the 88th minute, I believe.
Ended 1-1. That was on the 14th of September. That game played at Munro. As I said, always close matchups. Of the 15 last games that they have contested, 13 of them have been by the odd goal if there's been a victory.
Of course, tomorrow would make it exactly 7 years since Munro last defeated Stets, who are on the charge now. Just one play inside the box, looking to get on the end of this one. And the Munro defense was sturdy there, denying Stets a glorious chance if that had gone through to the oncoming striker. Now here's Munro College. Kept the ball a little bit too long in my book. And Stets will come again. That's a delightful ball. Not sure why he opted to pass there, Murray. Should have been selfish as he was last year in the same fixture. And he should have gone for goal.
Horrible decision by Christophe Murray. Leading goal scorer, confident in front of goalie. He has 6 for the season. And there is no way that was a chance leading up to it. And there's no way Christophe Murray should have been passing that.
Yep. Just missing that killer instinct there. And you want your strikers to be selfish at times, and I just felt that that was the most opportune time for him to be that. A number of Stets players inside the box, still unable to convert and make use of their chances. Now they're in the middle of the park. Needed a good ball there to go through the Stets defense, and it's gone through, but wasn't quite anticipating the bounce on that occasion, Murray.
But there was a touch as well. There was a touch as well from Malcolm, which assisted in getting it back to goalkeeper
Yeah, probably
Williams.
threw him off as well,
Yeah.
Murray. Munro. Oh, they do look dangerous. They're coming forward. Just held back just a little bit as Lloyd Bryan decides to play it all the way back. This is Damian Jones. He can rifle a shot from distance. Found the Stets defender. Game opening up just a little bit now as Murray seeking some help. There's a late challenge there, or was there? It's going to be a throw into Munro, though.
Of course, from
Nothing doing.
from a technical perspective, this rain would make it a lot more difficult for the teams. You have to be a lot more careful. The ball sliding across the surface, the footing not certain either.
The rain has left us, well, momentarily at any rate.
It's left its effect on the playing surface, though. Very greasy at the moment. Will make it nice to pass on.
Yeah, exactly.
But harder work for the defenders.
I think Ricardo Fuller would appreciate this surface as it is right now. Joanne Salmon with some work to do. Even if it was just that.
Well, he was hoping it would have rolled out.
Yeah, he was.
The roll didn't help him.
Didn't help him at all. And Salmon It was almost like a fish out of water there, and had to put it into touch quickly.
Did the right thing, didn't want to shield it, and then by some means the attacker gets the toe to it and it goes into your penalty area and you're out of sync.
Oh, there's a player down for Munro College in their own half, getting some attention now from off the bench. And yeah, it is Yushan Malcolm, one of the centre backs. There have been several chances in this encounter so far, as we take a glimpse of the party stand. Not quite showing its excitement at the moment, but here's a chance for Murray. Should have taken the strike, Chris.
I mean, the Munro defenders did converge. However, there was a little bit of space for him, and I don't think that was ever going to be the right option.
Hendricks was back
Could
there.
have actually put it back onto his left. There was nobody covering the left, and had a strike at goal. There was still an opportunity with either foot, and should have been selfish in that instance.
If he had seen Hendricks, because I doubt that he saw Hendricks coming back, I don't think he would have opted for the pass. Anyway, that's gone. Munro on the charge now, and they'll get a throw. Munro knows that this game is indeed critical for their chances of going through to the second round. Sigree, ball played up to Deshaun Roach. Roach inside the box. Stets just managing to clear their lines. Comes out as far as Hendricks, robbed of the ball. Stets will come away with possession. Counter-attacking play. And before Shamar Wallace could get there, the challenge came in. And we'll go the other way. Damian Jones, first time. Lloyd Bryan dilly-dallied and was saved by the ref, I thought, because he was going nowhere in that position, and it was a silly foul to give up, I believe. Yep. Yeah. It was a foul, but it wasn't necessary.
I expect to see a lot of fouls in this one.
Ball dinked forward, headed away.
The challenges will have to be exact. As Marissa goes and blows, there's possible head injury.
Yeah, Biggs was the one who clattered into him.
Looks a little bit out of sorts, Biggs.
That's his real
No,
name, by
that's
the
not.
way. That's not an alias.
It's actually not Biggs that's down, it's... Who's that? Is that Jones?
Yeah, it is Damian Jones, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually Wint, Deshaun Wint. He was down, number 24.
Munro on the charge. He kept it in play. It's very good work. And that's not a bad pass either. And Hudson Nugent. Well, he'd want a do-over. Very good work along this flank there by Hendricks.
Found a little bit of space, Hudson Nugent. Favours the left, but probably would have been better cutting in onto the right foot. That cross was always too deep. Just recently we did a game with the longest drought in the Manning Cup in terms of Camperdown, some 35 years. Today we have a team who has the longest drought of any schoolboy team in terms of winning a title. 55 years, Munro College. 1964, the last time they won the Costa Cup.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah. Have 7 titles. And in the early years of the Costa Cup, certainly dominated the event, Munro College, but wow.
That would have been before your birthday, I'm assuming, right?
Just. You mean birth year?
Birth date, birth year, same difference. Communication was had. Flag has gone up for offside. Christoph Morris had 6 goals to his name so far this season, as well as a couple of assists for St. Elizabeth Technical. Last year he scored in this derby on this same ground. And the 25th minute in that 2-0 win. Ronaldo Webster was the other goal scorer. And he's now plying his trade elsewhere.
At Wolmer's Boys. And everyone was wondering how Stets would replace the goal scoring machine that Ronaldo Webster was. 22 goals last season. But they've done pretty well. 29 goals so far in the first round. This year, it hasn't been one player that has dominated the scoring, though. It's been more shared. You have 2 players who have 6. Mushtaq Christopher, who hasn't started this afternoon, he has 6 as well. Murray 6. And a few players with 3 and 2 goals to their name already. So it's been more of a team effort in this first round.
Well, Raheem Brown is going to be taking this free kick for Stets. Headed away by Munro. Damian Jones further away. Here's Munro College. Doesn't really have lightning speed, does he, Lloyd Bryan? Couldn't quite get away from his marker on that occasion. And Munro will start all again from the back. Bacchus. And Jones loses out. Here's Stets.
It will also be very hard to shoot on this surface because it's wet and the ball is moving so quickly. And the footing is hard to attain. It will be very difficult to get the accuracy with the shooting, especially when you're unstable. And that was a prime example. Seen a lot of errant passes so far, and shots for that matter.
Stets with the edge in possession with 51%. That took a deflection. Corner kick to St. Elizabeth Technical. Still very much overcast here at Stets. Have an opportunity to take the lead via set piece. Here's the corner kick. 6 players inside the box for Stets at the near post. Headed away. Chance. And it's cleared once again by Munro. I think it was Coleman who tried that effort there.
Stets have only failed to score in one match that they've played so far this season. One of their 8 matches. That was in a 0-0 draw with Magotty, who lie in second position in Zone E.
Yeah. They seem to be an up-and-coming force. I think they actually qualified to the second round last year, Magotty. And Munro battling for that second spot with Magotty this season. And that's why this match is so critical for Munro College, who, well, they're lagging behind Magotty at the moment in the standings.
Magotty in second position with 17 points. Munro have 15. Hence the importance of a victory today.
Stets on the prowl, drilled across the area, back there doing well. Soren Young puts it behind for another corner kick to Stets.
A victory here for Munro would temporarily have them leapfrog Magotty. They have also played one game less, Munro. This is their 9th game. Magotty have already played 9.
Again, a deployment of 6 for Stets inside the box. Here's the delivery. More central, headed away. Another corner. Another corner. They're racking them up, Stets.
Well, Magotty has been a real pain in the side of both these teams. Munro's only loss came at Magotty as well. They lost by a goal to 0. That's Munro's only loss of the season.
Maybe critical in the long run.
Yeah.
Third corner kick for Stets. Delivered inside the area, and the header is wide of the mark. And it's the captain. Just couldn't turn that to where he wanted. And that was Antonio Biggs.
And that game as well, Donald, even though Munro has only scored 9 goals, that game against Magotty, the one they lost, is the only game that they haven't scored in as well, Munro. So they show that they do have the potential, they just don't have multiple goal games.
That's once again. That didn't quite reach its target. There's a challenge from behind, which is very much illegal still. Free kick to Munro. Jamal Bacchus didn't quite see that one coming. Jones with the delivery. Stets wins the throw. Game has slowed down a bit. Quality has also decreased a bit too, with some poor passing.
Yeah. You'd have to say, in term team-wise, St. Elizabeth Technical's quality, I think, has been somewhat depleted in the last 3-4 years as well. Not as dominant as they were 5 years ago. The balance of the team had been affected quite a bit.
Trout getting a little bit anxious now with the errant passing. Disappointed with the end result. Let's see if things can change for Stets. Blake playing it out wide. There's a wonderful delivery. And it's headed away, defended really well by Munro College. Let's take another look at the cross. And he was in the right place, wasn't he? Damian Jones has had a good game so far for Munro College. Better game defensively, Jones, so far. Aztecs, they get their 4th corner kick.
Looking for goal number 30 on the season. A good goal scoring team, St. Elizabeth Technical. Did score some 35 goals in the first round in 2018. And not far off from that.
Here's the delivery. Here's the chance. It's gone skywards.
Well, somewhat the kind of clearance he makes at the other end of the field. Antonio Biggs. No.
Got to be Giovanni Coleman.
Giovanni Coleman, yeah.
Here's Biggs. Gets by 1. Wonderful ball out wide. Players flooding the box. He found none of them.
Good build up by St. Elizabeth Technical. Like that he's smiling it off. Got it a little bit wrong. A little bit too much weight on the chip. But great idea from St. Elizabeth Technical, and getting a lot of numbers in the box as well. That's important.
Been really impressive.
Yeah. Have flooded the box when they've been coming forward. Good build up, started on the left hand side. Good skill to get in.
Yeah, Denari Watson.
And then the changing of the play yet again. It was a delightful pass. I almost thought if he had played it a little bit softer, it would have got its way to the inside right midfielder instead.
No, he has been in the wars, and you could tell, Damian Jones. He's not the smallest figure on the field, but he was dismissed easily there by Rogaine Brown.
It was Brown a short while ago that I thought should have been played in at the attacking end, but it's gone.
Sean Malcolm looks as if he wants to take a pop from here. Now, this is highly ambitious from him. Very ambitious.
Wrong idea. Especially considering the conditions where footing not certain, you run up to ball, you're sliding. Should never have been the option.
Challenge coming in on Watson, and Munro, they'll clear before they concede. Probably it's a 5th corner. Don't think Munro they've had any corners in this game. Not as yet anyway. Instead,
they have defended quite a few though.
Yeah, they have. Very well, in fact. And Stets do have their 5th corner. That's not a bad delivery again.
Well contested though.
Yes.
From a defensive perspective. Only conceded 4 on the season. Munro.
St. Elizabeth Technical, they are fizzing, but Munro, they have contained everything so far. And again, good work at the back by Terrain Young. Has a couple of goals to his name so far, the number 24 for Munro.
Did get injured at the opposite end of the field as well when he had gone up for one
For a header.
yeah, one of the attacking plays.
Mm-hmm.
There was a collision.
Couldn't quite keep it in play. Deshaun Roach. Biggs going long. Denari Watson with the throw. Murray.
His left foot does have some use, Christophe Murray, and that's why that first opportunity that he got, we're a bit surprised that he hadn't put it onto the left foot and just placed it into the corner of the goal. Good to see that he's still trying. As we said, it will be difficult to shoot on the surface, very slippery. Ball fizzing around. Will also be very difficult for the goalkeepers. I actually think that kickers are better suited kicking along the ground because the ball will shoot off and make it very difficult for the goalkeepers. They would probably rather it in the air.
Although regardless, the ball is actually a little bit heavier when it's wet. So difficult for the goalkeeper either way. He needs a good pass here, but he couldn't quite get by his marker. And it's like a ping pong contest at the moment. Munro though now with, well,
It's overhit.
yeah,
But as we
wasn't
said,
quite sustained possession on that occasion from either team.
certainly a hard-fought contest thus far, as we expected. A little bit scrappy in the middle of the park, but you can see that as the game goes on, this is going to get a lot more open, and I would expect more chances.
Nugent Hudson sends it even wider, but Tariq Sigri lost his footing, and that should be a corner kick. The first one to Munro College in the 35th minute.
Have said that the last time Munro defeated St. Elizabeth Technical was in 2012. They traded 2-1 results that season. Munro winning 2-1 at home, and then Stets winning 2-1 here. But since then, they have had 6 draws in 13 outings.
6 players inside the box for Munro College as the delivery comes in. Now it's cleared by Biggs. And this might be a challenge. Played around with it at the back. Did Hendricks. And now Christophe Murray plays it across and didn't quite reach. I think it was Shamar Wallace who was inside the box. McIntosh. Now Roach. Sigri delivers. Didn't handle that one properly, but he did just enough. And now it goes the other way. Denari Watson. Ball played upfield, but the flag goes up against Christophe Murray.
A bit of scuffling going on. Referee Golson doesn't like it and agreed. Right arm raised at one point, almost as if there was going to be an elbow thrown.
Not a bad crowd in this afternoon to watch this fixture.
Nice control.
Both teams have had their chances. There's a referee Goldson says nothing doing there. She saw a slip rather than a harsh challenge. Oh, he skips by that one easily. Nugent Hudson couldn't get by the second challenge though.
A surface that defenders will love because of the slippery nature. Love these sliding challenges where they can skip across the ground. But they have to be exact in terms of the timing, or I'm sure we'll see some bookings as the match prolongs and players do get tired. There's someone down at the moment as well.
Yep, it was because of this challenge. That was contact. It wasn't a slip, which I'm sure referee Goldson thought it was, but that was contact made.
Was the ball played as well? That was Tyreek Segri with the challenge.
Adam Griffiths coming from right back with the run. Forstets was challenged, was cut down.
Another angle might actually show if he made contact with that ball before the player.
But it was behind. The challenge came from behind, right?
Well, it looked like it came from this, well, maybe the side.
That is some side, Chris. I'm almost sure the challenge came from behind on Adam Griffiths.
It's from beside.
Well, he was nowhere near the ball.
Yeah, he played the man for sure. That was a foul. Actually made contact with the outside of his right boot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder who she's supporting.
Maybe Newcastle.
She's going to have a terrible day tomorrow, I can tell.
You hope.
We live in hope, Chris Taylor. We live in hope.
I was hopeful this morning and my prayers were answered.
Controversially, at any rate.
I'll take it.
Here's Stets. Offside. He should have timed his run better, Christopher. Well, no, that's not Murray. Kept on blaming Murray.
That looked like Hendricks. No.
No.
These
Well, we'll
numbers
get it
could-
right one day.
It was Coleman actually.
Yeah, it was Giovanni Coleman. One team does it every year.
Certainly,
The
yeah.
numbers on the backs. It's
One year it was
ridiculous.
Calabar, I remember. It was very difficult to see their numbers. Stets now the guilty party. Maybe something will be whispered in their ear about their gear.
Or they'll just rewatch this game. That's not a bad delivery, but not a lot of options inside the box.
And that's been the main difference between Munro and Stets so far when attacking. Stets looking to get the numbers inside the 18-yard box. Munro starved of attention.
Almost as if when Stets attack, they're like, we're supposed to score.
Right.
We should score. We must score.
We have been scoring.
Yeah.
As I say, 29 goals so far this first round.
Munro, when they're going forward, it's almost with an air of meh. Maybe.
Maybe. 29 goals in 8 games for Stets. 9 in 8 for Munro. So no surprise.
Terrain Young was running out of real estate there. Has been very good so far this afternoon. Young. For once, not a lot of options inside the box for Stets.
Oh, that was dangerous.
Well, and it didn't work out well, did it? Well, he had to be the block on that occasion, and the resulting shot is high.
Coleman again. He's been in the thick of things. He had a chance earlier, Coleman, which went even higher. So I guess he's getting closer, but again, still far off the target with the left boot.
Well, Jamal Buckles must be counting his lucky stars. Although, to be honest, he did get himself in trouble. Tried to
That worked.
beat his marker, then the clearance made. And he did well to stand up to the shot first up, and then,
Felt the effect, the aftershock.
well, it's the least he deserved as the shot came in from Delroy Blake, and then the second chance from Coleman.
I don't think his teammates were at all happy. Damian Jones very upset with the work that he put in the box.
Which is why Jones didn't even look at him when he went down after he got hit in the box.
Rambo Weatherburn, not sure you'll be very happy with the fact that Stets haven't found a goal. There have been 5 games so far this season that Stets have had 4 goals or more. And so, as I said, used to scoring. 7 shots, 2 on target for St. Elizabeth Technical, so they have been getting the attempts, but can't say they have come close at all. Even those 2 that were on target were routine.
Yellow card came out. It was shown to a Stets player.
Yeah. And it's Brown as far as I see. I think it's Raheem Brown, the number 11. We'll wait and see.
I think you may be right that it is Raheem Brown.
Did have a dangerous tackle, and I think that's what Nerissa Golson remembered. You remember that tackle about 10 minutes ago?
Yes.
Was him. And I think she's seen enough of it in terms of the reckless slides.
Just confirmed the yellow card went to Raheem Brown. Not sure there's going to be a lot of stoppages added, as the lights are on in Santa Cruz, and it's not even 4 o'clock in Jamaica. To tell you how overcast it is. Just a minute of time to be added on to stoppages. Stets, can they get something in stoppage time? The player goes down, was clipped. It was Adam Griffith.
We've seen 1 yellow card already to Raheem Brown. I'm telling you, Donald, it won't be the last. And the rain is back as well, so it's going to add to the slippery nature of the surface. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more mistimed challenges, especially as players get tired. And the tolerance of referee goes and diminishes.
Yeah, the rain is back. Last chance of the half. Tried to go for the spectacular. Ended up high and wide.
Very difficult.
Yeah, would have been something to remember.
Ball going away from him as well. Was late in his attempt.
Turned out to be something that he would want to forget. And that's half time. Not a lot of goal mouth activity. After 45 minutes, we're yet to see a goal in this contest in Santa Cruz. It's raining, but it hasn't really been raining opportunities in this encounter. There have been few and far between, and the players are soaked, just to add to the misery of it all. After 45 minutes, St. Elizabeth Technical 0, Munro College 0. Welcome back to St. Elizabeth Technical High School here in Santa Cruz. It's raining cats and dogs, but we have a Cup game hopefully to go through. We're midway that game, and we are yet to see a goal. Stets and Munro in this battle of rivals as we take a look at the Water halftime highlights. Chris Taylor.
A close matchup as we expected. Their first encounter for the season ended 1-1. And just as we thought, a hard-fought St. Elizabeth derby. Munro with the best chance to start. Look at that block by the St. Elizabeth defense, and then a strong right-footed attempt which went just wide of the upright and certainly had the likes of Salmon in goal very concerned. And luckily for him, it was just wide. Rainy conditions and making it a lot more difficult for the players. That was one of the better attempts on goal. 15 minutes and Munro would continue to come forward. This opportunity falling to the likes of Hudson Nugent, and had a bit of space, decided to go to turn onto his left foot, and his cross was a little bit too heavy and nobody at the back post to help him out. Part of the problem for Munro, not enough players inside their box. St. Elizabeth Technical not with that problem. They would come forward. Good opportunity here, and Coleman trying to slide to that ball was never in control, and it skewed off the outside of his left boot and well over the bar. That would be the story for the most part of St. Elizabeth's half. They would continue to come forward, though. This is the 41st minute. Misery in the defense line of Munro, and luckily for them, there was an impressive block, and certainly would have felt the pain after. Jamai Bacchus, there he is, mistimed clearance, and then took one in the sensitive area. Unfortunately for him, he was down for the count but not out, and St. Elizabeth Technical unable to breach the defense of Munro. It would remain goalless at half-time as we have a look at the half-time statistics. 8 shots, 2 on target for St. Elizabeth Technical, just the 1 on target for Munro from their 3 attempts. 8 fouls and a lot of missed-time challenges. We also saw a yellow card for Raheem Brown from St. Elizabeth Technical. 3 offside, all for Stets. They have been the guilty party, not timing their runs to breach the defense of Munro. 6 corners, 5 of them for St. Elizabeth Technical, and they have enjoyed majority of the possession. But as expected, a tight contest here at the St. Elizabeth Sports Complex. It's Stets 0, Munro 0.